everybody! Welcome along! Welcome along to the stream. How are you all? How are you doing? Feeling good? We've got a new signing through the door. This is what January is all about. It's what January is all about. I'm really pleased with the Connolly signing. Yeah, buzzing with that. And we're in FA Cup action, which is always so special. Aaron Connolly was wearing 14 in the training video. I know, I've seen that. So perhaps my 44 assessment was wrong. If I have another look. Yeah, that does say, it does say 44, doesn't it? Unless that's just his number at Brighton, maybe. Yeah, who knows? How you doing, Ollie? All right, Ruben. Very good, Ollie. Very good. Hello, Coxie. Hello, Martin. Brandon. We'll touch on Brandon in a little bit. He's gone out on loan. He's not sold. He hasn't been sold. Ashley. So we'll touch on Brandon Fleming in just a second. But FA Cup action. We all know about the FA Cup. We all know what it means. Especially to us Hull City fans after our little run in 2014. Oh, man. I need a cup run this year. Oh, even just getting past the third round would be nice. We haven't got past the third round in ages. We haven't got past the third round since we beat Rotherham in 2019-20 and then got knocked out in the following round to Chelsea. Then we lost to Stevenage in the second round in League One. And then, Everton last year. Now Fulham. We never seem to get a nice, easy draw, do we? It never happens. It never, ever happens. Callum makes a great point. Our opponents in the third round have been hard. Yeah. Human. Let's have a look. Hello, mate. How are you? Why do people think Coyle is good? Because he's good. Because he is good, and he's proved to Rosenior why he's good. That's why. Connolly really getting some hate from his previous clubs. He is, isn't he? And from Brighton fans as well. It does mean not great attendance, I know. To be honest, Brandon Fleming, there's no space for him. That's interesting. I know he's not been sold, but we can't really sell Elliot now. Well, what are you lot doing? Connolly was a disaster at Borough. Did nothing but stroll about and put in no effort. Was more about trying to pick up lasses around the town than football. Well, the nightlife in Hull is crap. So he's going to be all right on that front. Did Connolly and Longman play together at Brighton? I think so. And he worked with Rosenior in Brighton's academy. So that's why he's come in and he knows Rosenior ball already. Yes, Christie is better than Coyle, but Coyle is still a good player. Right. Transfers then. Let's talk about Brandon Fleming. Now, Liam Rosenior's explanation for the move is that when Rosenior has come in, when he came in, we were shocking at defending set pieces. Right? That's just a fact. We were awful, and there was no debating that. That's quite clear. Sorry, I'm just looking through City's signing gallery. Oh, they haven't got it. They've got him in the training gear again. Why can't you just put him in the shirt, man? Just put him in the shirt. I've lost my train of thought. There we go. Rosinha said that we were crap at defending set pieces, which we were. And he decided that when he came in, we needed the extra height because we were losing that by having Seri, Woods, Slater, Doherty in midfield, none of which are particularly tall. So he decided to put Greaves at left back to accommodate for that, meaning we could have an extra centre half. That has been Sean McLaughlin alongside Alfie Jones. And we still need that height. It's come down, but Rossini clearly doesn't feel satisfied with the way that it works at the moment and that we can consistently manage it. So quite obviously, he feels he needs to keep Greavesy at left back, and that's fair. So he feels that Brandon, and he said he wants to work with Brandon long term. And he said, Brandon just needs games, and that's games I currently can't offer him. So he sent him out on loan. And in case you're wondering why he's been sent to League One, that's because the standard of competition in the Championship this year is so high. It's so close in the Championship this year. We can't have Brandon Fleming getting loaned out to another Championship side and potentially helping them leapfrog us or accelerate away from us. We can't do it. So League One is the best place to send him because it's a competitive division. He'll get regular football and he can impress. And exactly that, Marcus. Greaves at left back has been good. Simple. Evening, Leo. How are you? Riddle. Connolly, if what people are saying is true, plus Gavin White equals Maddison. What? So attitude and what are you insinuating with Gavin White? Indecent exposure? Don't quite get you on that one. But there will never be another Marcus Maddison. And Gavin White was solid. Who do I think is the best player this season? Seri by a mile. The bloke is insane. The bloke is absolutely incredible. I'm sitting back up now, so I've just moved my camera for nothing. That's still a little bit too... There we go. We need a Greaves replacement. Put him at centre-back, get a left-back. Maybe Carvalho in for Liverpool. Fabio Carvalho is an attacking midfielder. Oh, for centre mid. I struggle to follow your logic there, Ruben. The midfield is fine. We don't need another top-class midfielder to come in. If we're bringing a midfielder in, they need to be just solid Championship level who can do the dirty work. We don't want a luxury who just sort of saunters around the pitch, doesn't contribute to the team, and doesn't make us hard to beat. That's why Ozan has been dropped. Simple as. And then, of course, Randell Williams left yesterday. That's a good move for him. Billy Chadwick going out on loan. That's a good move for him as well. And I'm expecting a couple more players to follow suit very soon. So let's go on to team news then, where Benjamin Tete hamstring will be... Oh, no, wait, hang on. Team news, Benjamin Tete will be involved against Fulham after recovering from a hamstring injury. New signing Aaron Connolly may also feature. Adama Traore, hamstring / Achilles, is on track for a late Jan / early Feb return. Salah Uladam hand, groin / pelvis, has been back at parent club Arsenal for treatment, but could return to Cottingham next week, according to Baz Cooper. Nathan Baxter, ankle, requires minor surgery, so will be absent for 10 to 12 weeks. James Scott, Traore, Tete, and Josh Emmanuel remain unregistered, but they can be registered now until the registration window closes just after the end of the transfer window. So they can all feature in this game if Rossini so wants them to. Demetrius Pelkas and Vaughan Kerville, both knee, remain unavailable. So yeah, that's the way it looks. Tete back, Connolly in, Traore getting closer, Salah getting closer. Yeah. You've pulled your hamstring, Ruben. Oh, that's unfortunate. Rossini says he wants Tufan to say, but mentions nothing about Cynic. Well, he's not being asked about Cynic, really, is he? So we'll see. We'll see on that one. Rumours are that Wilkes is coming back. Oh, Leo. Give up, mate. Liam has worked with Connolly before, so they say there has to be something in him, right? He can also play wide. So if Liam wants, if Liam wants, he must know how to get the best out of it. I kind of get what you're saying, but you've just phrased it with with extra words. Cynic, oh God, Liam won't allow Connolly to be a prick. Exactly. Cynic probably more of a shotter signing. Yeah. Fair. I think it's just a summer where we just thought, right, we can spend money, let's spend it. Cynic looks all right. Yeah. There's no doubt Cynic's a decent player, just hasn't had the opportunity. Liam won't allow Connolly to be a prick at all. Yeah, I typed it twice. Unlucky, Marcus. Right. Let's move over to Ref Watch then, where the referee is Josh Smith. The two liners are Stuart Burt and George Byrne. The fourth official is Lee Doty. Josh Smith has a thing for yellow cards. Let's say he quite likes his yellow cards. That's what I'll say. I wish we'd gone for Cameron Archer. Yeah, I'd quite like Cameron Archer coming in. Just imagine Tete and Oscar running at the defence. Myself, to be honest. Dean, I'm not putting the link in after we had Astrid Wett's bare breasts put on last time. Will we see Salah before the end of the season? Obviously, if he's fit, then he'll need to force his way into the starting 11. I think we will see Salah before the end of the season. Just a matter of when, in my opinion. We'll move on to stats then. These are taken from our game against Wigan, where the possession was 50-50. That's a bit of a surprise, because I thought Wigan only had it for about a 5-minute spell in the first half and then a 15-20-minute spell in the second. But hey-ho. In terms of passing, though, blew them out of the water. Rossini ball, loving it. Shots-wise, though, beautiful. 4 shots on target, 4 goals, lovely stuff. And then defensively, we had to do a little bit less than them, as expected. Discipline-wise, less fouls than a team for the first time in ages. Where's our crossing? Crosses, quite a lot of crosses again. Good stuff. Lovely, lovely stuff. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Will I be doing any more away games now? It's free travel. Certainly will be. Win tomorrow, 4-3 on pens. It goes to a replay, not penalties, I'm afraid. Hope Salah can be as good or even better than Charlie Patino. Interesting. Fair play to Arjun for the free travel to the end of the season. What an owner he is. Agreed. Norwich City will finally win at home tomorrow, but somehow lose to Huddersfield. Probably, yeah. Dean reckons 4-0. Wow. And Kerem, good evening. Merhaba. Hope you're doing okay. Let's move on to Fulham's team then, where it's going to be one of Leno or Rodak in goal. I think it's more likely to be Marek Rodak. In Fulham's last game against Leicester, this might give us a good indication. It was Leno in goal. The back four was Tete, Adara. I know people call it Adarabayo, but there's clearly an extra O on the end. So it's for me, it's tossing Adarabayo, but we'll let the media say what they want to say. He was alongside Tim Ream, a man who was told by Pep Guardiola, if you were 24 and not 34, you'd be playing for me. And Anthony Robinson down the left side. I can see Shane Duffy coming in. I can see Ivan Kazawa coming in, Diop and Babu as well. But that's still such a solid back line. Their holding midfield too was Harrison Reed and João Palhinha. I could maybe see that staying pretty similar, but there's obviously Nathaniel Chalobah as well, who was on the bench for their last one, plus Tom Kearney, former Tiger and their captain. Then on the wings, they had Bobby Reid, formerly of Bristol City and Cardiff, and Willian, ex-Chelsea, ex-Arsenal. And then Andreas Pereira up there in behind Alexander Mitrovic. Harry Wilson was benched. Manor Solomon was benched. Former Tiger Dan James was benched. Carlos Vinicius was benched. I can see him coming in. They've got a lot of ex-City players, man. They've got a lot of ex-City players. And we've got one of theirs as well in Jean-Michel Seri. They've got Dan James, Harry Wilson, Tom Kearney, formerly of Hull City fame, plus Marco Silva as well, who was our former manager. Hugo Oliveira was Silva's goalkeeping coach here. Goncalo Pedro came with Silva to us as well. But if you look who they've got out on loan, Rodrigo Muniz at Middlesbrough. We were after Steven Sessegnon in the summer, I believe, as well. But, they've got Gazaniga out on loan as well. My Lord. It's a Premier League team, for goodness sake, and they're doing pretty bloody well in it, for that matter. And we'll look at both the Premier League and Championship League tables in just a second. Someone told me on Insta they saw something about McCann coming back for a backroom role. Coming back to City for a backroom role. Not quite sure. Kerem loves it, Merhaba. We'll touch on your comment, Connor, when we get to head-to-head battles, because then I can say who I think will win each game and sort of say, look out of this, ideally. I'd quite like, just off the top of my head, Accrington Stanley. I think they'll beat Boreham Wood, and I'd quite like to do Accrington Stanley either away or at home. Not fussed which, but I would prefer away because it'd be free travel as well, probably. Knowing our luck, we'll get a Prem team, Man City or United away, or a rival away. There's Grimsby in there as well, of course. Would I be fussed if Baxter didn't come back and we didn't end up buying him? I think he's been nowhere near as good as last season. He seems to be very injury prone for such a young age. Baz Cooper said in an article the other day, he doesn't think that Baxter's loan deal, Hull Live have been told it's unlikely that the loan deal will be ticked off and we'll sign him permanently. And I could see that happening, especially when we've got Ingram on a long contract, Cartwright and Lottatala on long contracts as well, and they're both only, 19? Dave Robson here, Harry Fisk here, Tom McCauley here. Ben Vose will probably get a pro deal at the end of this year, at the end of his scholarship. I don't see the need for us to keep Baxter, to be honest. Mitrovic, Beggy's injured. Liverpool away would do. Prem team away. I'd rather have chose part of the backroom staff with Grant McCann. I think Baxter's finished at Hull. Well, let's have a look at Fulham's form guide then, shall we? And then we can have a look at the league tables. Let's have a look then. Current form. Shall I start with Fulham or shall I start with us? What do we think? I'll start with Fulham. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In their 5 Premier League games, 1 before the World Cup break, 2 afterwards. Or was that a Carabao Cup? No, it was a friendly. So we won't count the friendly. We'll go back to Man City then. So just before the break, they played the two Manchester sides. Lost 2-1 to Man City and 2-1 to Man United. Garnacho scoring that goal right at the end. And then Ronaldo stealing his thunder by selling himself out to Piers Morgan. Then after the international break, then they beat Crystal Palace 3-0 in a really good result. Then beat Nathan Jones' Southampton side 2-1 on New Year's Eve. And then just the other day, beat Leicester 1-0. Us, in our games, 1, 2, 3, 4, we've now played exactly 5 since the World Cup break for us ended unbeaten with 3 draws and 2 wins. Draws against Watford away and against Sunderland and Blackpool at home by 0-0, 1-1, and 1-1. And then we beat Birmingham 1-0 and beat Wigan 4-1 in our last 2 encounters. And then let's move on to the league table, where we'll take a look at the Championship first, and then we shall have a little gander at the Premier League as well. Let's go to the Championship first. So Burnley and Sheffield United racing away with it. And then the playoff race is really, really tight from 3rd down to 17th. There's 10 points. From 6th down to 16th, there's 6 points. It's so tight. And the only thing that's going to let us down is this goal difference. That Wigan game did us a lot of favours, but we need to keep getting results like that. Huddersfield is a big opportunity for us to not only put our home woes behind us and to bury them, really, because we've never, ever done very well against Huddersfield. This is our chance to change that. Coming up, we've got Bristol City away as well, and Stoke coming up away. We've still got Cardiff to play at home, still got Rotherham to play at home below us, and then we've got Swansea to play at home. We've got Coventry away in March, Reading at home, QPR at home at the end of this month, Norwich away in February. Preston have still got to come to us. West Brom have still got to come to us. We've got to go to Sunderland away around Easter, Luton away on what is currently the last day of the season, but I think that will be changed because of the King's coronation. We've still got to welcome Millwall here. We've got to play Borough again still. And then Watford come here late in the season, and we've still got to go to Blackburn as well, plus Sheffield United. We've got to play every single team above us yet. And that's the big opportunity. That's a big chance for us. Take points, just draws out of them. It's going to be tough to get results against Burnley and Sheffield United because they're just so good. And that point against Burnley seems like a fantastic result from earlier in the season. But why? There's no reason we can't beat these teams. There's no reason at all. And then looking at the Premier League, Fulham are 7th, level on points with Liverpool. They are doing very, very well under Marco Silva. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I think they will rest players. Their priority is the Premier League. So I think they'll rest players, and I think we will go still pretty strong. Fulham's team, yes, is still really, really strong regardless, but lacking match sharpness. And I think with the amount more games you play in the Championship, plus we've been back from the World Cup for longer, I think we're going to be that little bit sharper. That's me. That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. Let's have a look. Where did I get to? If that Polina players were buggered. Cartwright over Alisson. Ruben's just got the pains of growing up. But if your leg's bothering you, mate, get yourself down to the doctors or a clinician or something like that. You might have to wait a while because the government are pathetic. But Yeah. Just get it sorted. Get it sorted for yourself, pal. Said to my maths teacher today that McCann was far too stubborn over keeping the 4-3-3 formation. Very true. Wonder which manager Peterborough will get in when Ferguson gets sacked. I have a hunch it could be McCann. You know what? If he's out of work, I can see the same thing happening. Dean's going tomorrow. Marcus reckons we beat Burnley at home. Evening, Ben. Hope you're well. In the Championship, any game is winnable. Yes, says Rosina. Score prediction, Hull 3.7, Fulham 1. Very specific. If we'd have beat Sunderland and Blackpool, we would be in 8th, yeah. It's such a tight league. It's such a tight league, and those 4 points could have made all the difference. Let's move on to Around the Grounds then, where I have got a hell of a job on my hands here. My God, this is gonna be pain. Wigan was class, Ben. You are absolutely correct. Let's have a look then at Around the Grounds. Right. I need to get myself geared up for this. So, in the FA Cup third round proper in 2023, Manchester United face Everton kicking off in 23 minutes time. Then tomorrow, the 12:30 kickoffs are Tottenham versus Portsmouth, Gillingham versus Leicester, Reading versus Watford, Preston North End versus Huddersfield Town, Forest Green Rovers versus Birmingham, and Crystal Palace versus Southampton. The 3 o'clock kickoffs tomorrow are Blackpool versus Nottingham Forest, Shrewsbury Town versus Sunderland, Boreham Wood versus Accrington Stanley, Fleetwood Town versus QPR, Bournemouth versus Burnley, Millwall versus Sheffield United, Middlesbrough versus Brighton, Hull City versus Fulham, Ipswich versus Rotherham, and Chesterfield versus West Bromwich Albion. Breath. Whew. Tomorrow, the 5:30 kickoffs are Luton Town versus Wigan Athletic, Brentford versus West Ham, Grimsby versus Burton Albion, and Coventry City versus Wrexham. The 6 o'clock kickoff tomorrow is Sheffield Wednesday versus Newcastle United. And the 8 o'clock kickoff tomorrow is Liverpool versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. On Sunday, the 12:30 kickoffs are Bristol City versus Swansea and Derby County versus Barnsley. The 2 o'clock kickoffs are Hartlepool versus Stoke City, Norwich City versus Blackburn Rovers, Stockport County versus Walsall, and Cardiff City versus Leeds United. Boo! And don't know what came over me there. The 4:30 kickoffs on Sunday are Aston Villa versus Stevenage and Manchester City versus Chelsea. And on Monday, the only game kicking off at 8 o'clock is Oxford United, now armed with Brandon Fleming, taking on Arsenal. Lovely jubbly. Whew! I need a drink. Okay. So, Connolly is the worst signing possible. Longman is so much better than him. Ozan's good coming off the bench, so if he goes sad time. The thing is, though, Ollie, in the Championship, you can't be paying a 4 million transfer fee and paying 20 grand a week plus to an impact player off the bench. You just can't be doing it. They've got to be your star, and they have to win games for you. Ozan, if he plays 90 minutes, he dips in and out of the game too much. And that's why he's so good as an impact player. But in the Championship, that's not financially sustainable. 2 on Fulham tomorrow. I think they're a good side, so I can't see us winning. Everton's owners are a disgrace. I think Lampard might be under a little bit of pressure soon, I'm going to be honest. We're going to get Man United in the 4th round. Interesting. Okay, then, Ben, drop me a message whenever you feel free, pal. Coventry 0, Wrexham 8. Stephen and Joshua reckon that we'll win 2-1. G-Boy Hadjo, what are you saying for tomorrow? You'll have to hang on just a little bit longer to find that out once we crack through the record. Last time, memorable match. Shared shirts and my predicted team. We shan't be long, though, so stay tuned. Justice for Tom Eves. Love that. 1-1, 1-0 win in the replay. 2-1 in extra time. It's one or the other, I think. You look at Wigan, he comes on 3 goals, so he does win games. He does, but you can't be paying that money for an impact player in the Championship. It doesn't work. Ollie lad, we can't afford him not to be starting, yeah. Would I take Smallwood back on loan? On loan? On loan? 3-2, is it Shaq's? I'm not sure if that's the right way or not, but hey ho. Memorable match then. You know where this is going back to, don't you? In between Christmas and New Year in 2013 in the Premier League, we beat Fulham 6-0. It was 0-0 at half-time. But goals from Ahmed El-Mohammadi, George Boyd, Tom Huddleston, Matty Fry, and a brace from Robert Corran meant we tasted victory. Our team that day. Oh, wow. In a 4-4-1-1 formation under Steve Bruce, Alan McGregor was in goal. The back 4 was at right back, now manager Liam Rossigna. James Chester, Curtis Davis, the captain, and Maynor Figueroa. On the right was Ahmed El-Mohammadi. On the left was George Boyd. That should say number 17, not number 16. Jake Livermore and Tom Huddleston in the midfield. Huddleston's goal meant he cut his hair. And Robert Corran was playing as the sort of shadow striker number 10 in behind Yannick Sagbo. The bench was Steve Harper, Alex Bruce, David Myler, Danny Graham, Matty Fryer, Paul McShane, and Abdullah Faye, with Steve Bruce in charge. For Fulham, David Stockdale, another former Tiger in there. Brian Ruiz, you might remember. Pajim Kasami and Ashkanda Jagger. They're names that stand out to me. Steve Sidwell and Ruiz in the middle. Hugo Roddy Jaeger in the midfield as well. A young Marcus Bettinelli on the bench. Darren Bent on the bench, and Sir Alex Ferguson's former number 2, René Moulenstein, taking charge of Fulham there. 23,925 in attendance at the KC Stadium for that. Those were the days. They're coming back. They're coming back. Connolly, good signing. Ebiowi, skillful. Porteous isn't happening. Portis isn't happening. What channel's the United game on? ITV, I think. Sharks, super Matty Fryer. What a player. Ebio, we do waiting on Palace getting a player in to replace him, I'm guessing. Interesting, considering it's only a loan. Very interesting. Can someone start a petition to get Elmo back? I believe he retired a year ago, didn't he? Yeah, Justice for Tommy's just said he retired a year ago. Connery's too old. Coran, what a player. Oh, brilliant. Ruben's not going to the doctors because he's a City Ultra. Very nice. And last time out against Fulham, it was our Tigers Trust commemorative match day on the 12th of February last year. We lost 1-0 at home to an Alexander Mitrovic goal. The team that day for us was Matt Ingram in goal, the back 4, Louis Coyle, Sean McLaughlin, Jacob Greaves and Brandon Fleming, with Longman and Lewis Potter wide, Smallwood and Regan Slater in the midfield, and George Honeyman starting behind Marcus Force. The bench was Harvey Cartwright, the goalkeeper, Callum Elder, Alfie Jones, Greg Doherty, George Monker, Tyler Smith, Deshaun Bernard, with Shota Avaladze as the manager, and Jean-Michel Seri on the bench for Fulham, with another former Tiger in there, Michael Hector. They're racking them up, Fulham, aren't they, the former Tigers? And then the record that we've got against these guys, if we go back to our last 5 against them. We've lost our last 3 on the bounce against them, but we drew 2-2 before that in December 2017 and beat them 3-0 in November 2019 at Craven Cottage, where Eves fell over when he scored. The memories. Fantastic. Shared shirts, then we're moving on to Michael Hector today. I've not gone for Kenny or Wilson or anyone like that, or Dan James, because they're still actively playing for Fulham at the moment. Same way I've gone for Seri, because I'd have to update this graphic every week. So I've gone for Michael Hector, who left Fulham in the summer. He was with us on loan from Chelsea in the 2017-18 season, signed by Leonard Slutsky. In 38 appearances in black and amber, he scored them once. For Fulham, he joined them permanently at the end of his Chelsea contract in 2019 and was with them through to the summer of 2022. In 40 appearances for Fulham, he failed to score. Let's move on to my predicted team then in Liam Rossini special 4-4-3, my God, 4-3-3 formation, with in goal, making his competitive debut, Timothy Lotatala. At right back, the captain, Louis Coyle. Centre-backs, Alfie Jones, Sean McLaughlin. And left-back, Jacob Greaves. In holding midfield, I think it'll be Seri and Slater, with 2 in central midfield. On the right, Tyler Smith. On the left, Dokan Sinek. And up top, Oscar Estupinian. The bench, I reckon Harry Fisk will be on there, with Callum Elder, Tobias Figueiredo, Ryan Woods, Benjamin Tete, Xavier Simons, and Aaron Connolly, who I think will wear the number 14, based on that picture there. So a couple of changes for me. That's what Lotatala in, Coyle in, Tufan in, Smith, Sinek. That's 5 changes. It wouldn't surprise me if Longman remains on that left side, but surely Dodo has to get a game. Surely. And no Aliyar. I forgot to mention it in team news, but Aliyar is pretty much fine. They're just doing extra tests on him to make sure. And they're going to use him sporadically a little bit more. I can't believe I forgot to put Aliyar in team news. That's embarrassing. No Ingram at all. I don't think Ingram will be involved. I think Rossini will reward Harry Fisk a little bit, letting him sit on the bench. I think he'll reward Lotatala with a start. So I think Ingram will miss out. Only for this game. But I think he'll reward those 2 boys. And we've of course got Dave Robson back now. We've got David Robson back from his loan at Crawley. I think Figs is needed for Mitrovic. Interesting one. I'm not bothered about Force don't play. Oh yeah, are we having a discussion about Marcus Force? Force seems to be doing better at Borough now than Carrick. And Carrick is in. Crap for us and good for them. Hopefully Connolly is the same for the other way around. Yes, agreed. Force only scored 2. That's 1 more than for us. Yeah, not too fussed. He scored for us against QPR and almost skied it from 3 yards out. But on to my predicted score. I think we'll win this. I'm confident. I'm really, really confident. I think we will grab ourselves a little 1-0 win with Oscar Estupinian on the score sheet. And Liam Rossini did say that Benjamin Tete will get at least 20 minutes on his recovery from injury. Yeah, not too bad. Get your score predictions in now before we go. I'll quickly have a look at them. Joe, can we get a shout out from my pal Holly watching the stream? She's a big fan of yours and a big fan of Vaughan Coville. How you doing, Holly? Shout out. Joe, I see you behind the goal sometimes. I'm in East Stand. Nice. Yeah, get your score predictions in quickly. Come on. I've got a couple of Instagram messages. Let's have a look at these. Wait, I'm seeing your score predictions come in, but I'll just read these. Messages quickly. Job done. All right then. 2-1 Fulham, but hope we win. 2-1 in extra time. It goes to a replay. So unlucky. Unlucky with that one, Ashley. 3-2 Oscar Tete Ozan. Interesting. 0-0 going to a replay. 2-0 City from Oscar Dean. No chance. This feels like another 1-0 loss to Fulham in a pretty close game. 3-2 City. 2-1 City. 1-1. So it's going to a replay. 2-0 City. Estupinian and Tete off the bench. Nice one, everyone. Well, I'll see you all tomorrow for a match day vlog. But for now, take care. Enjoy the rest of your evenings. And I'll see you for the game tomorrow. Take care, everyone. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.